Hello everybody, we're going to finish up chapter 5 with these notes on solving rational expressions. So up to this point, we've been simplifying, so we've been factoring and finding ways to reduce things, but we never actually found where x equals or y equals or a equals or b equals or whatever the case may be. So that is what we are currently going to do. We want to know what the variable is equal to. And we do need to worry about our restrictions. We have to know if whatever answer we get is valid. Are we allowed to have it, or will it make our denominator equal to 0? So our steps. We're going to start with factoring the denominators if we can. Find our restrictions. Figure out our common denominator. And multiply all parts by our common denominator. This should eliminate all of our denominators so we don't have a fraction anymore. Once we've done that, we combine like terms, solve for the variable, and check our answer against the restrictions. All right, so our first example. I'm going to go ahead and start with our factoring. So v squared plus 4v has a common factor of v. Let me pull that out. We're left with v plus 4. V plus 4, nothing we can do for factoring there. And then v, nothing we can do for factoring there. So our restrictions come from v and v plus 4. So v cannot be 0 or negative 4. Remember, that's going to be the same restriction for this denominator and that denominator. So now we want to find what our common denominators would be. Well, we have v's and we have v plus 4's. So our common denominator should be v times v plus 4. So I'm going to multiply every single one of these fractions by v times v plus 4 over 1. That allows me to cross reduce. And so over here on the left, the whole entire denominator goes away, and we're left with 1. And we have an equal sign. For this middle one, our v plus 4's reduce out, leaving us with v times 2, which will be 2v. And we have a minus. And anytime I have subtraction, I want to go ahead and make sure I have that parenthesis there. And the v's simplify out here. So I need to multiply v minus 4 times v plus 4. I'm going to do that by distributing or foiling. And so that gives us v squared minus 4v and plus 4v, add to 0, and then negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. I'm going to distribute my subtraction and rewrite the right side into standard form. So I want that negative v squared first, Then we have a positive 2v and a positive 16. So the next thing I'm going to do is bring that 1 over with the 16 by subtracting 1. So that will give me 0 is equal to negative v squared plus 2v plus 15. Well, I know I'm going to have to factor, so before I do that, I don't like the negative v squared. I don't like a negative a. So let's go ahead and divide everything by negative 1, which changes all of our signs. 0 is 0. It doesn't change signs. Negative v squared becomes positive. Positive 2v becomes negative 2v. And positive 15 becomes negative 15. So now we can factor that. So the factors of negative 15 that add to negative 2 are going to be negative 5 and positive 3. That gives us v minus 5 and v plus 3 is equal to 0. So I set each of those equal to 0. And we get v is equal to 5 and v is equal to negative 3. So we want to go back and revisit our restrictions. Our restrictions were 0 and negative 4. So we have to make sure that 0 and negative 4 don't match our 5 and our negative 3. We're good. We're good. So our solutions are 5 and negative 3. All right, so I'm going to again start with my factoring. I don't have any factoring to do. I am going to take this 9 and make it over 1 so we can make that into a fraction. Our restriction then is x cannot equal positive 3. So our common denominator is x minus 3. That means we're going to multiply each one of these individual fractions by x minus 3 over 1. When I do that, it allows me to cross reduce. So the x minus 3's cross reduce and leave me with x equals these x minus 3's cross reduce and we're left with 3 plus nothing cross reduces on this right side, so I just need to distribute that 9 and we get 9x minus 27. I'm going to combine like terms. So those are my like terms on the same side. 3 plus negative 27 gives me a negative 24. I'm going to bring my 9x over with its like term of 1x. So that gives me negative 8x is equal to negative 24. Divide both sides by negative 8. And we get x is equal to 3. So now we need to check. Well, our restriction matches our solution. So that means we are not allowed to have that 3 as an answer. And since I have no other possible answers for that, this has no solution. Thanks, Bears. We'll see you tomorrow.